Serious Business on Game Right. Serious Business is a weekly show for competitive gaming with match recaps, recent news, and special features to get you in touch with the pros.
In Toronto, Canada, Major League Gaming, the World Cyber Games, and the World Series of Video Games joined forces with comic book heroes and villains at the Fan Expo. This week, we break down how the Canadian gamers compete against the world's best, and finally sit down and talk with Alex Garfield, president of CS Pro Mod, and get his take on how it will impact the Counter-Strike community. First off, gamers have to deal with the surroundings that they're playing in. But instead of getting my take on it, let's listen to these gamers.
Honestly, I couldn't hear a thing. I couldn't hear teleporters. I couldn't hear where my opponent was coming from. It sounded like he was left, right. And at times, I couldn't hear anything because of the World of Warcraft fans that were standing behind all the Quick players. They wouldn't move them out. So.
Well, personally, this probably sounds cheesy, but I love it because I love comics, and I can't hear anything when I'm able to play on a headphone, so it's a fine environment for me.
Really, what you don't see is over in the pit here where all the games are going on. There's a lot of yelling, a lot of commotion, a lot of crowds gathering for a lot of intense matches. It's pretty good, and it can get on you, especially when you're like up on the main stage and stuff.
Well, when the octave level is as high as it is right now and you can hear it, I think you can. There are multiple things happening in this building. You got to up your game if you want to win at professional gaming at the level we're playing at. Don't kid yourself. If you want to walk the walk, you better talk the talk. You know what I'm saying? So up your volume and let's get some.
With the push to the mainstream audience, gamers gonna have to learn how to adapt and deal with the noise and commotion. On another note, Major League Gaming is trying to break out of just doing US events, even though they focus only on the East Coast. Well, I can talk the trash, but can I play like the Major League Gaming pros?
Slayer.
As for the World Cyber Games, we're going to sit down with Canada's EG and get their take on what they think of the competition as well as Counter-Strike as a whole.
Like every other WCG, I think the competitions overall, it's pretty good. We're not playing as good as we should be playing, but we're holding it together, so.
Well, I think Counter-Strike as a whole always seems to be like the backbone of every major tournament. I mean, you got like CPL, ESWC, WSVG, they always sort of have some sort of CS tournament in it. WSVG is sort of pulling away from it at the moment, but then you got CGS who's taking up Source. So I think, you know, it's still there. You have the new games sort of coming up into the mix, like WoW seems to be like a big thing right now, but I still think CS is going to be around for quite a while.
What do you think of the CGS rule set?
It's good if you want to play a match in 10 minutes, but I like the eco rounds and stuff, and I think the 1.6 rule set is way better than CGS.
So we have the luckiest chance to be able to talk here with Alex Garfield about Counter-Strike, the CS Pro Mod. So, first of all, what got you into the development stages?
It originally happened with Al Mendoza using his own hosting, or I think hosting of a friend, to post a mini essay on why we needed a Pro Mod. I just PM'd him immediately on IRC and I said I fully support this because I had actually been working very, very generally on a Pro Mod as early as, I want to say 2005.
What are some of the things that we can have to look forward to? Of course, a few of us are Counter-Strike junkies. You know, we want to see the same maps. We want to see the same game, just prettier.
That's a pretty good summary of what the game is like right now. I guess I've addressed so many questions on what the recoil will be like and what this will be like and that'll be like, and I think the best answer I always give before going into the specifics is the game is exactly what the majority of the community will want it to be. But we're not trying to make it exactly 1.6 or exactly 1.5. The point is, with every single feature of this program, every single feature of this mod, we're going to have voting available on our website. We're going to have lots of community input and professional input, and we're going to change things until the game is the way it should be. One other thing I want to point out is we're implementing tons of extra features outside of gameplay. Things like calling votes. If you ever played Pro Mode, 1.43 was the latest version. What Archon did there's so much customizability without affecting the competitive side of things. Customizability that should be there. It's absurd how much there is, and we're going to have that too. We're going to have things like being able to call votes. So you're not going to need AMX mod to go from CSDM to Scrim to Match to Pug to Charges Only to warm-up mode. All you do is call a vote, and it changes like that.
The one last question I have for you, when is it? When are we going to see it?
I've publicly said on a number of occasions the tentative open beta date is end of September. So we're looking at roughly a month now since it's August 26th today. We're going to be entering into a second stage of closed beta very soon with top teams from Europe, top teams from Asia, and some top teams from North America as well. And so that's basically going to be our closed beta test. But I feel comfortable with saying a month from now. We're really just working through little things right now, like getting dynamic crosshair, finished. We could obviously release an open beta version without it, but I want to make sure that the first version addresses everything it needs to, because no matter how many times I put it in the README or say it in interviews, if a feature isn't there, people are going to be like, where is this? Or this is wrong and that's wrong. People just have to understand that because this is hard-coded, it's not a server-side mod, it's a hard-coded program. We can change literally everything, and we will. And so I think it's going to be really fantastic and exceed expectations right off the bat for where we would be at the first open version.
That's about all the info I have for you here in Toronto. But I have one last question before I get quote-unquote pwned by Pure Pwnage. What does it take to be a competitive game in our esports community? Hey, thanks for watching. I'm Corey Dunn. Now go blog about it.